In this episode, I took my camera to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York, and I got some pretty nice shots I would like to share with you. Also, I met with a beginner filmmaker and he asked me 3 questions that is going to help a lot of beginners. So I'll be answering those questions in this video. Welcome to the first episode of Street Filmmaking with Cabral Creates. Grab your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, so the story behind this video, I met Zbek through Instagram. He reached out to me and he asked me, hey, can you teach me everything you know about filmmaking? And I first thought like, I don't think I want to do that, that is takes time and all that. But then I'm like, hey, what if I use his services and, take advantage of the opportunity of have him film me on one of my videos so that not only I'm going to get the footage that he's making, also I'm going to have a better understanding of what beginner filmmakers want to know. He asked me 3 questions that I think were very helpful. The first one is, do we always have to follow the rule of thirds? Obviously, the answer to this is no, and I'm going to get into details. The details is what actually matter. The rule of thirds is basically, the grid lines that you get here and here. So essentially, you either have to frame your subject here, 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 or here in order to have good framing. That is probably the most basic rule of composition, but there are other rules that you could learn about composition. And one of them that I use very often is creating shapes. In this shot right here, you can see that I use the 3 characters that I have playing at the beach. I use all 3 to create a triangle. You can see triangles everywhere out there. When you know about rules like this, you tend to compose your shots thinking of creating a shape. And you see these a lot in movies. Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, used it in this shot. So what I will say to that is, no, you don't have to use the rule of thirds all the time. You should learn it as the most basic rule of composition out there. You should go ahead and look into other rules of composition, try a new one for a full month, learn it, try to master it, and then learn another one. And then eventually it's going to become second nature.
How long it takes you to finish this? A week? Pretty good.
I'm going to answer the other 2 questions, and then later I'm going to tell you about the gear that we use, and I'm going to give you one more tip, something that is going to help you a lot. The next question is, what is a better investment, lens or a camera? So usually when we are beginners, we usually think that the camera is the biggest investment when it is not really the case. The camera is actually very important. It is not your best investment. First of all, I would think that lighting is the most important. Well, audio first, lighting second, then the lenses, and then the camera. Why I think the lenses is more important? The lenses give you the look that you're actually looking for. Some people appreciate vintage lenses because they have more character to the footage. It looks more unique when you use certain vintage lenses. And some other people like the clean look, so they go for lenses with less character. But you gotta know what is your style? Do you like the vintage look? Do you like the clean look? Not all cameras are going to take every lens, so when you invest in lenses, usually you're trying to keep into one camera system that supports your lenses. I say that my next upgrade, I'm going to invest in lenses. I want to get a trio of lenses that I got in mind already, and the camera that I'm going to get has to support the mounts that are available for those lenses. The third question is, why is pre-production important? Okay, I don't do too much pre-production. All I do is choose my location. I already know the title that I want to talk about and the theme or the story. And once I know that, I just go out there and I let the environment guide my shots. I kind of operate just like street photographers, kind of, or a documentary filmmaker. You know, I like to look for the story out there. And once I collect my footage, then I like to put together the story in the editing, and I let the story guide my edit as well. So I don't do much pre-production, but for most people, I would say that you should definitely do a lot of pre-production. Otherwise, it takes a long time for you to actually think creatively when you're out there and come up with shots really quick. It's really difficult. I've been doing it for a long time. This is the way I shoot. So I don't really make a shot list or anything like that. I like the thrill of not knowing what kind of shots I'm going to get. So I don't know if it's weird or whatever, but it is just my style of shooting, and it is the way that I enjoy making my videos. So that was the third question. Now let me talk a little bit about the gear that we use, and then later I'm going to give you a tip that is going to help your filmmaking. The camera that I use is the Panasonic GH5. I used it with the kit lens, the 12 to 60 millimeter f2.0, and it is a micro four thirds camera. It is a great camera, and it came out in 2017, almost 8 years old. Now the camera that Zbek use is the Sony FX30, which is an excellent camera. It is an APS-C sensor. It is a great camera. That is all I know. When I was reviewing his footage, it looks pretty damn good. Now for my final tip, when we are beginners, we tend to think that expensive camera equipment or expensive cameras translate to quality. Basically, we confuse quality with a quality image. Those are two different things. And you know, when we talk about quality, you might think of 10-bit color or 12-bit raw, or 16 stops of dynamic range and things like that, and that translates to image quality. Now when we speak about a quality image, that means how well are you framing your shot, how beautiful the lighting looks, how well do you color grade your images, how is your shot actually helping you tell your story. And that's for everybody. We are always learning. Some of us are beginners, some of us are a little bit more advanced than beginners, and some other people are very advanced. But no matter where you're at, you're always learning. That is all I got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, subscribe to this channel, like the video so YouTube knows this was a good video. And if this video does well, I'm going to make the episode number 2 somewhere else in New York City. So hopefully I will see you there.